Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Q&A Live. My name is Mark Rowe, one of the ministers here at APC. We want to welcome you tonight and joining us on our discussion. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, remember to like, subscribe, and share. That would be greatly appreciated. Before we get into tonight's topic, I would like to remind you or inform some of you that we are having our Out of the Ordinary Conference. It is this week, the 7th of March through to the 10th, so Thursday through Sunday. It's going to be an awesome time, and we would love for you to come and see what the Lord is going to do. The amazing thing about this particular conference this year is that this will be our last conference here at 755 Oklahoma Drive. We are then going to be moving to our new location, where information will be given to you very, very soon. But we are very excited about it. So once again, Out of the Ordinary Conference, this Thursday through to Sunday, please invite everyone that you know. Come, let us worship the Lord and see what he has in store for us together in his house. Tonight's question is a very interesting question, and I think we're going to have a great time discussing it, and hopefully it will cause dialogue and conversations to happen. If you have any comments, anything that comes to your mind, remember to just comment below wherever you are watching, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on our website. Write down what you have, so that we can start a dialogue and we can hear what you're thinking as well. Tonight's topic is, how do I approach someone whom I've offended? How do I approach someone whom I have offended? So how we're going to do this tonight is that we're going to look at Matthew chapter number 5. So we're going to look at the biblical basis of how and why we have to approach someone that we have offended. Matthew chapter 5, verses 23 and 24. Matthew 5, verses 23 and 24. And it reads this: Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother has aught against thee, leave thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. All right? So basically what the text is saying is that when you're going to give your gift to God, whether it's praise, whether it's a sacrifice of time, if you remember that you have offended your brother, or even your brother has offended you, leave your gift at the altar and go make right. This is the biblical way of approaching someone who you have offended. Now, someone may come and say, well, what if that person isn't talking to me? What if I've offended them so badly that they choose not to talk to me when I approach them? 3 things I want you to remember. Number 1, approach them remembering that you have offended them. So naturally there will be an anger, they will be upset, but don't allow that to stop you from reaching out to them. The ways you reach out to them may be through text message, maybe through an email, but you want to really see them one-on-one, face-to-face, and talk with them about the situation. If you approach them and they do not want to talk to you, right, they just leave you hanging, let's say, the next thing I would suggest for you to do is then call someone to come with you to speak to them. It may be a mutual friend. It may be a minister in the church. It may be your pastor. But what you want to do is bring someone with you so that they could be there to be that mediator between you and that individual. If that individual still chooses not to listen and not to forgive, you then have the responsibility, now this is the hard part, you then have the responsibility to continue to love them no matter how they treat you. So whether they pass you in church, whether they look at you in a funny way, you still have to show the love of Christ to them. So if they are hungry, you're still going to feed them. If they are thirsty, you're still going to give them to drink, because that is our responsibility. You're not doing it because You want to show them that, listen, I am the bigger and better person. You're doing it because you have the love of Christ within you. And allow me to say this. The fact that you realize that you have made a wrong or you've offended your brother or your sister, you have overcome pride. You've allowed pride to die, and you have humbled yourself to realize that you've made a mistake. But the fourth thing that I want you to realize as well is that if they're still not talking to you and you're showing them love, continue to pray for them. Pray that God will open their heart, that they may receive the apology in which you have presented to them. Now, the truth is this. If you look at Matthew chapter number 6, Matthew chapter number 6, verse 14, because they also have a responsibility as well. So their responsibility is taken right from Jesus' words himself. While he's talking about forgiveness in Matthew chapter 6, verse number 14. If he forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if he forgive not men their trespass, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. That when you've done all that you can, the individual who is not taking heed and having a heart of Christ to forgive, the Bible said that if they do not forgive, their Father in heaven does not forgive them. And that is a very serious thing. We have to be open as Christians to accept one another's apologies. I remember when I was in British Columbia, two little kids they got into an argument. And as adults, we were looking at them and we continued doing what we were doing. It just so happened that while we were in a huddle, the two children under the age of 9, they came to each other and they said this. One said, "I'm sorry." The other one said, "I'm sorry too." They went on to hug each other. And as they were hugging, they started crying. And they said, "Let's not ever fight about this again." That moved my heart to the core because it showed me the power of forgiveness and the power of love. So how do you approach someone whom you have offended and they may not want to talk to you because they're angry? Well, 1, reach out to them the best way you can. 2, approach them. If they don't want to accept you approaching them, bring somebody with you to mediate between you and them. And if they still choose not to accept your apology or to accept the fact that they've offended you, then serve them in love and pray for them. The rest is on their court. They then have to come to the point where they realize that the love of Christ has to consume their heart and let go of the anger and allow God to work in them. I want to thank you so much tonight for joining us. I hope that the conversation has begun. Please, once again, comment below on what you think. How would you handle if someone you approached didn't want to take time to listen to what you had to say? What were some of the things that you had to endure, and how did you overcome? Once again, please, if you're in the Pickering area, remember Out of the Ordinary Conference 2019, this Thursday through to Sunday. It's going to be an awesome time. We'd love for all of you to be there. And once again, all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. God bless you. I'm Mark Rowe.